I asked Neil and the elders to be able to speak to you. I look for you and see my brothers. I see my sisters. Most of all, see the family of God. You know, I appreciate everything that y'all have done, the cards that I received, the prayers on my behalf. And it means a lot. Now that I can't get out very much, I'm on oxygen and all those good things that come with it. But, you know, I extend an invitation to anybody that wants to give me a call. Come over and visit. Just let me know when you're coming, and you know, we can play cards. We can Connie come and we played dominoes. And the last time she came, we just sat out on the front porch and talked. And we had a good time. I think she was amazed at how many blue jays I have in my front yard. It was amazing seeing all the teens come out and to rake my backyard. And you know, I was sitting in a front living room, and I heard them blowing, and blowing, but then I kept hearing blowing the same spot. You know, what are they blowing? I mean, what kind of blower they got? One of those little things you see on the advertisement on a little blower. Well, they trimmed my hedge. Well, my hedge is about 8 feet tall, and for 43 years I've been trimming it, but it's not even my hedge. It belongs to the neighbor. So anyway, they trimmed the hedge, and so I think there's about 15, 20 bags of leaves. But it was amazing to see them, you know, all the youth, the teens out there. And I love you all for coming out and doing those. Neil, Carrie, you are doing such an amazing job with the teens, and the getting them out to not only serve here, but getting with others, teens from other churches. And we've missed that. We used to do that a lot, but that somehow we got away from doing that. I want to speak concerning our elders. We have some of the greatest elders, and elders who are leading us in the direction not only to love God, but following the second commandment, to love our neighbors. And the work that they're doing with not only within this congregation, but within the community, reaching out. We may never know what comes of it, but God knows. But still, the direction that they lead us in, it's good. Now I'm going to say to you, men out there, that speaking Shack at some time, they're looking forward to getting deacons. And if they come to you asking if you would consider being a deacon, they come because they feel that you can fill that position. Don't say no. Yes. Because you can always, through God's grace, improve your life and help others and relieve them of some burdens that they're assuming. Brother Neil, the lessons, you know, I missed when they first started the R1, R2, I missed what that was. I didn't know what R1 and R2 was. And so then later I figured, you know, got it figured out. Well, he's preaching some great lessons on loving God and putting God in our life. But then secondly, to love our neighbors. Once again, his lessons are spot on to teach us that when we go out these doors and we meet people, they're our neighbors, even though we may not think our next door neighbor, but they're our neighbor. They're the ones that we need to love, we need to consider, and bringing them into our lives. And one of the things Neil's teaching me I was never a hugger. Neil is teaching me to be hugged. And, you know, we don't, just never did. So, you know, he's got me going here. And I appreciate it. He's there for me, and I got one in my ear just plugged up with water, so it sounds funny. Give me a second to catch my breath. The teachers, once again, I say, Neil, Carrie, doing a great job. But we have a difficult position over in the other wing. We have gaps. And the teachers are having to try to fill in those gaps where they can teach age groups. Difficult. But they're doing a fine job. Now, those of you who've taught in the past, step forward. Come out of your comfort zone and tell the elders, tell whoever's in charge that you're willing to relieve someone. Teachers, accept the fact that you don't have to be in that class all year and doing a thing. Allow others to come in and help and use their abilities. I think within that, we grow stronger. When I think about our life, and Neil hit on the lesson, if you've ever been in any of my classes, I think God put Paul as an apostle on this earth to live a life that we can follow. He was beaten, he went through all the difficult times, and yet, as an example, one of the greatest things and one of my favorite passages is Philippians 4:19. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. Keep something like that within your heart. God is there. He never leaves us. And part of the other thing he brought up, Romans 12. My brain just went here. Romans 12. 1 Corinthians 12 and Ephesians 4 all deals with the fact that each one of you have an ability. By the grace of God, he's given you an ability. Seek that ability out. Build on it. It will give you strength. And God will strengthen you during those times. And you can expand on that. One time, I said I can never be a songwriter. Well, early days of Florida Avenue, I led singing for 2 years. Morning service, evening service, and Wednesday nights. And just never say never. So with that, I love you all. And once again, I'm there for you. If you want to come over, give me a talk. We can go out in the front porch and listen to the birds and enjoy God's nature and just share each other's. Last thing, the groups, life groups. I miss the life groups because that gives us a point of intimacy, getting to know each other, sharing each other's life, learning more about each other. And with that, we become stronger. I'm going to turn it over now. But I love you all. Thank you.
Glen is a testimony to this church's love. He is a testimony to serving others. And now he is a testimony on how to live until you die. And I'm going to ask the elders to come up and put their hands on Glen. And we're going to go to God in prayer for him. Great God in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Father, today as Glen talked to us, reminded us of what is so important. We want to lift him up to glorify you as he has glorified you in his life. We're thankful, Father, for his years of service. We're thankful, Father, for his willingness to grow and his willingness to let us serve him at this time in his life. And Father, we know that you are being glorified by him as he spends his last days here on this earth, worshiping you and caring for others. And Father, help us to follow that lead every single day. And Father, help us all to live in your kingdom by your power for your glory. It's in your Son's name we pray. Amen.